Welcome back. So now that we can delete and we can show all, let's go into show a single customer right here just by clicking this load single customer right here. Now we're not getting the customer right now, of course, so we have to go and figure that out. Let's try and jump back into our code right here. We need to do the getCustomerById needs to kind of start returning an actual customer from our REST API. And again, how do we do it? Well, it's very simple with the getById right here. Is pretty much just by adding a front slash in the end and putting in the ID of the customer we want to retrieve, right? And that's all we have to do in our code as well. So let's try and change this guy into actually calling the real REST API right here instead of using this local array. So again, we do a return statement like we've done before. We say this.http and then we pass in the get request. Now we need to explain what we're going to return, and I want to return a customer. Now this is for passing the JSON we get back, right? It will automatically now go and pass for me the JSON I'm getting back into a customer. Then I want to put in the URL, and we already specified that locally. And I want to say plus because I want to add, again, just like with the delete one, I want to add the actual ID that I want to get, right? Just like we did with the delete. And that's pretty much all we have to do. Now we return an observable doing just this. Now I'll get some exceptions, we'll fix those, but before we do it, I think it's always good practice to kind of explain what you're going to return. And in my case, I'm going to return an observable with the type of customer inside it, and that's kind of what I add right here. So now I feel my service is ready to do the job. I just need to solve all these issues that I have now, because for the details component, we're getting an error now because I'm trying to assign, because I explained that I return an observable customer, I'm trying to assign an observable customer to a customer, so I need to go and fix that, of course. Let's go into the customer details, and notice right here, this is just a customer, but what I'm returning is an observable that has a customer inside it. So let's just fix that. And the way we'll do is I'll just cut this out for now, and on the init, what I want to do is I want to do a subscribe right here like we did before. When I'm done here, I'm going to get a customer from REST. Let's just call it that just to make it very simple to see the difference between the customer from REST and this local customer we have right here. When I get that back, I'm going to say the local customer, this customer, is going to be equal to the customer from the REST API, right? That's all I had to do. So now I'm actually getting the customer back from the REST API and setting him when he's returned. Let's just try and see that working, because that should work. Now notice there's a small delay when I click it. It just boink, it gives it a second before it actually shows. And while it doesn't show, there's actually showing customer not found. So we have to fix that again using some kind of twirly loading screen, something like that. That's not a big thing. Let's not go there yet. Let's go back to the code first, because what I also want is to fix the other errors I have. And if you go into the update component, I actually, inside my update, I actually went and got from the same method, I went in and I used the getCustomerById. So now this is actually also an observable, and an observable of the type customer does not have a first name. So we need to do the same thing. Let's just keep that for now. And what I want to do is I want to call this customer service getCustomerById. There we go. I'll pass in the ID like we did before. Nothing new here. And then I'll do a subscribe like we've done before. And inside the subscribe again, I'm going to get the customer from REST, right? So this is the customer I'm getting from the REST API, and I'm going to take him and I'm going to patch him into our form just like we did earlier. And then I'm going to get rid of this part right here. So again, pretty simple stuff actually. And now I'm getting back the customer. Now, of course, I need to use this customer now to patch the customer form. There we go. So let's see if this works. Let's see if, first of all, we have any errors. All errors are gone, it seems. Let's just try and do the update now. And you'll notice again, it takes a few milliseconds before it actually shows up, or even a second before it actually shows up right here. Now, of course, we need to, again, make that better, and we'll do that soon with a bit of CSS magic. But for now, let's just keep it like this. Now we're actually getting the real data from a REST API instead. Everything's honky-dory. So that's how you kind of move into using the details to actually start getting a simple customer from ID. So now we're pretty much done with the R in CRUD and the D in CRUD. Now we need to figure out the U for update and the C for create. See you next time. Have fun.